like pandemic bubble on 2021.
Okay.
But on 2022, the real crisis happens when the interest rates was adjusted by the Fed to combat inflation in the US as the result of the pandemic bubble. Now they need to combat the inflation of that bubble by increasing the rates, and worsened by the fact that there's a war between Russia and Ukraine that affect the global supply chain of commodity that cause the commodity to goes up. The interest rates goes up, the commodity goes up, affect the economy, and makes the fundraising becoming more complicated. Why? Because a lot of people are withdrawing their money from the risky bet, like startup and venture capital is one of the risky bet, because of the uncertain economic situation induced by the increase of commodities price, oil price, and also the increase of interest rates by the Fed in the US. So because they're withdrawing their money from the startups and venture capitals, then it impacts the fundraising scheme by venture capital to the startups. So of course, as the startups that is part of this industry, we're going to feel the effect on the fundraising. So I think for the early stage startup, there's going to be a massive demand, but probably there will be the venture capital will be more sensitive about valuation and about unit economics, fundamentals, and gross profit versus 2021 or before because of the crisis. But there's still a very huge capital to be given to the startup. So you just need to make sure that you understand these three things: unit economics, fundamental, and gross profit, and also the way to do more with less, like being effective and efficient, selective in hiring less people, but delivering more products. And then you're going to get access to venture capital. For the late stage, you really need to be careful because there's a really huge impact. If you are not showing a huge scale of gross profit and any path to profitability, it's going to be very tough to raise from the Series B, C, and D. And if the let's say startup cannot do it, they will have to close down or wind down their operation. For this year's batch, I would say that most of which are already very good. They have some sort of ideas, that I feel quite valid because they've seen the problem, they formulate the solution, and they convert the solution into an MVP. They already get some sort of initial traction. What's been quite, I think, what needs to be improved by these startups they are mostly still distracted by a lot of product. I saw that most of the startups here in today's coaching session, they are all trying to build multiple products already, even though they just started. And a lot of them are also still confused about how to monetize in a scalable way. Many of them are still confused about what should I do? Should I keep it subscription? Should I just keep monetizing from one product? Should I build multiple products? So I think to keep the team stay focused on their original problem and solution is one of the most important thing. Secondly, to find a way to monetize from this specific problem and solution in a scalable way. And then lastly, then you prove that actually the number support these two initial indicators. Then I think they'll have a very good prospect to get investors. But for the time being, they need to fix these three things first. If they fix these three things, I do believe that this year batch should have a huge potential to get investors.